Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim for the Real Sports Talk, and I can't even believe we're having this debate, but I'm not just doing this debate for views or anything like that. Tom Brady versus Eli Manning. Not career, not even in the regular season, because to have that comparison at any other point except right now would be a disrespect to a guy in Tom Brady who very well could go down as the best quarterback of all time. So to do that would just be unfair to him. For all the strides that Eli Manning has made, you can't compare his career, and really you cannot compare what they mean to each other's teams during the regular season. You can't. I mean, you look at the weapons that Eli Manning has out at receiver with Hakeem Nicks and Victor Cruz and guys like that, and you look at what Tom Brady has. Wes Welker was a nobody before he came to the Patriots. I mean, Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, I think that most of the receivers on that team, Deion Branch, are products of the system, and we even saw with Branch when he went to the Seahawks. I think what he does for that team, regular season and throughout the career, I mean, it's no question that Tom Brady has had a better career than Eli Manning. And Eli Manning has made great strides. Is he a Hall of Famer at this point? I would not say so yet. I mean, look, the guy threw 25 interceptions last year. He did throw 31 touchdowns. Because you win Super Bowls does not guarantee you a spot in the Hall of Fame. Trent Dilfer's not going to the Hall of Fame. And even if you win 2 Super Bowls, you got to really look at the career. Eli Manning could go to the Hall of Fame. He's one of those guys that you say is on the bubble. He's got to have a few more. To me, it's not about winning this game. It's about having a few more years like he had this year, and even keeping the interceptions down a little bit more than the 16 he had. I mean, there's other guys that I would not, like Donovan McNabb, that I wouldn't consider a Hall of Famer, but I would say, as far as the numbers go, actually had a better career than Eli Manning. And Eli Manning has won a Super Bowl, and that's great, and very well could win a second one here, but he's not a Hall of Famer yet. He's got some work to do, and I'll leave it at that because I'm getting off track from the Tom Brady versus Eli Manning debate. The one thing I'll throw out a few stats to you guys first, and then I'll give you my opinion on who I would take, and I want to hear your guys' opinion in the chat below. And if I didn't mention it, you can follow me on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST. The late game drives have been what it really has put Eli Manning in this elite category. And Eli Manning is an elite quarterback. There's no mistaking the way he's played this year has made him an elite quarterback in this league. I really don't think there's any questions about that anymore. But the late game drives have been really what people have put him at such a high standard for, because he's been clutch down the stretch, did it again, I mean, we've seen him do it this year, I should say. Against the Patriots, the first time they played would be a nice example. His playoff career comebacks, he has none this year, but he has 2 in 2007, and the playoff game winning drives, I'm getting this from Pro Football Reference, which is why I'm just struggling to find it on the page here. The playoff game winning drives were 3, and they all happened in 2007. So essentially, I mean, that's impressive, and we know that the one was throwing that TD to Plexico Burress, but none of them are this year, and that's kind of to me saying, you know, he's done a really good job in the playoffs this year, but he hasn't necessarily been quite as clutch as I think everyone's put him at. He played well last week, but I don't think he played out of his mind or anything like that. What these two guys have done in the playoffs is Eli Manning has thrown 8 touchdowns to 1 pick. Tom Brady has thrown 6 TDs to 3 picks. I mean, you cannot take away from those 8 touchdowns Eli Manning has thrown the fact that he has not turned the ball over in the playoffs. And Tom Brady, the 6 TDs, hey, I'll take 3 touchdowns a game. If he can throw for 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, they probably have a very good shot at winning the Super Bowl. But the thing you got to look at is that all 6 of those TDs came in their one game against the Broncos in the divisional round. And I believe he could have thrown more if they asked him to. I think that the Patriots slowed things down a little bit, decided we're not really going to take too many risks here in that second half. I think he could have thrown 8 or 9 or even 10 touchdowns in that game if he really decided, and the Bill Belichick kept the foot on the pedal, if that's how you want to phrase it. Eli Manning has had 3 games. Tom Brady's had 2 games. That's also the other thing. The defenses these guys have faced, and this is the thing that I really look at when making this comparison. Eli Manning, these are the teams he faced. He faced the Falcons, who have a good defense. The Packers, who have a defense that could not defend the pass at all this year. A lot of that has to do with Charles Woodson, who just cannot cover anymore. And a very, very good Niners D, one of the top 5 in the NFL. Tom Brady faced the Broncos D and absolutely shredded them apart, and that was not a bad defense. The Broncos had one of the top 10 defenses in the NFL. And then he also faced the Ravens last week, and you don't even need to say it, because the Ravens aren't there because of Joe Flacco. They're not even really there because of Ray Rice. They were there, I should say, because of how good that defense has been. What won them the Super Bowl 10 years ago really has not changed over the last 10 years. They are built on defense, and they're one of the top 5 defenses. They are obviously led by 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers in Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. Then you got other stars like Terrell Suggs, Haloti Ngata, the list goes on. They have a very, very good defense. And Tom Brady in that game did not perform very well. He threw 0 touchdowns through 2 picks. He did score 1 rushing touchdown where a lot of people thought that he was actually injured on. Obviously, that did not end up happening. But so that makes things interesting. Manning, man, I mean, this really is a tough debate. Let me give you the final thing I want to throw out to you guys before I give you my opinion. Is that Eli Manning has been 20 when these 2 teams played each other, and what week was this? I can't get the exact week. It was later in the season. It was on November 6th. When they faced, Eli Manning was 20-39 with 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Tom Brady was 28 of 49 with 342 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he also threw the 2 interceptions. And without giving away too much of what my Super Bowl prediction is going to be, and I will be releasing that sometime mid this week with Justin, KJ, and some other members of the Cash Kelly Sports Network, is one-on-one, if I just had to take a quarterback for either team, I'm taking Tom Brady. But with the game plans that I think the Giants seem to somewhat have Tom Brady's number, and Eli Manning seems to have confidence late in these games against the Patriots, I'm sorry, man. I got to go with Eli Manning as the quarterback that I would rather have. Or, no, I would rather have Tom Brady. But I think Eli Manning is going to have a better game in the Super Bowl in terms of not turning the ball over quite as much. And when his team calls on him late in this game, if I had 1 drive, I'm giving the ball to Eli Manning. And I can't even believe I'm saying that, but I am. I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. I did have one guy hit me up on Twitter yesterday. Let me open up Twitter because I completely forgot about that. I sent out a tweet that if anyone wanted to give me their opinion. Sox360 on Twitter, that would be Dakota Zimmerman, says, I'll take Eli because he's more clutch in the 4th quarter drives. Eli is better on the 4th quarter comebacks, but Brady is clutch, Joe. And I mean, I'm not even going to go say that Tom Brady is less clutch than Eli Manning, because I think that would be disrespecting Tom Brady. And as I've listed throughout this entire video, I think Eli Manning isn't even in the stratosphere of Tom Brady. But the bottom line, for this one game, I think Eli Manning is going to have a better Super Bowl 46. Leave me your opinion in the comments below. #Deuces.